New details in Takeoff's fatal shooting.
5 shots fired downstairs.
In the wake of the rapper's death early Tuesday morning.
Right hand on the Bible, I swear I won't tell, swear.
It's gonna be a DOS.
The Harris County Coroner's Office confirms to ET Takeoff died as a result of gunshot wounds to his head and torso.
Meanwhile, in Houston, a jeweler is coming forward with new surveillance video from the night Takeoff died. He tells 11 Alive Takeoff, Quavo, and their entourage stopped by his store just hours before that shooting.
They say those bullets that struck Takeoff came from a gun held by Patrick Clark. This is Clark in court earlier this week. Police say Clark was also holding a wine bottle at the time, which he left at the scene with his fingerprints.
It's been a rough few years for the music business, with several unfortunate premature deaths making headlines. On November 1st, 2022, Migos rapper Takeoff died suddenly in Houston after attending a private party of about 40 to 50 guests. He was only 28, so many people are wondering how Takeoff died and who's responsible for his death. The rapper's career was tragically cut short. In an interview with Rolling Stone in 2015, he said he was excited about the trajectory he was on. "It's a blessing," he said. "It's only the beginning, though. You ain't seen nothing yet." But he didn't live long enough to see his dreams come to fruition. But just how did Takeoff die? The rapper was fatally shot in Texas. Police Chief Troy Finner confirmed the rapper's death during a press conference, according to People magazine. This morning at 2:34 a.m., officers received a call of a shooting in progress. Officers arrived there shortly thereafter, a downtown location, billiards and bowling alley. They came upon a male who was deceased. That male has been identified as Kirshnik Ball, better known as Takeoff. He's a member of the Migos rap group out of Atlanta. Finner said, "I got many calls from Houston and outside of Houston, and everyone spoke of what a great young man this is, how peaceful he is. What a great artist," he continued. "I spoke to this young man's mother just an hour ago. She flew here from out of town. I want everybody to understand the pain, the suffering of a mother. Very tough. And I told her, as we stand with any victim of violence or any homicide victim, their family, we stand with them in this city, in this police department. I want to thank our homicide unit under the direction of Commander Spears for doing great work time and time again." So who killed Takeoff and why exactly? The Houston Police Department charged Patrick Xavier Clark, 33, on December 2nd, 2022, with the murder of Takeoff. Patrick Xavier Clark, 33, charged with the murder of Kirshnik Karibal. The police department tweeted at the time with a mugshot of the suspect. Cameron Joshua, 22, was also charged with felony possession of a weapon in relation to Takeoff's death. Before the charges, the Houston Police Department asked the public for any information regarding the rapper's death at a press conference on November 1st, 2022. "We are looking for any information at this time," Sergeant Michael Arrington, the lead investigator on the case, said at the time. "We know the media has received a lot of phone calls, text messages, tweets, vines, videos. We need all of y'all to send those to us so we can solve this case." He continued, "We want to find justice for this family. They're going through a lot right now. Help us to apprehend and get charges and arrest on the person responsible for the death of Takeoff." According to multiple witnesses and law enforcement, as reported by TMZ, the shooting took place shortly after 2:30 a.m. on November 1st, 2022. 911 was called to an incident that occurred at a bowling alley, where Takeoff and his Uncle Migos bandmate Quavo were playing dice. In a recording of the call to emergency dispatchers, published by TMZ, 5 shots were fired. "What does she need to do?" Quavo said in one video from the 911 call. According to TMZ, a woman on the scene said she was a nurse and offered to help Takeoff. Police said during a press conference that security guards at the event heard the shooting but did not see who did it. In a video obtained by TMZ and circulated on social media, Quavo appears to try to move his wounded nephew before placing him down and yelling for help. Unverified reports of alleged witnesses on social media said a dispute over said dice game broke out, and that's when the shooting occurred. Multiple outlets reported Takeoff, born Kirshnik Karibal, was either shot in or near his head and was pronounced dead at the scene. Police said 2 others had been shot and taken to hospital in private cars. Quavo was not injured. According to police at the crime scene, 40 to 50 people were at the location when the shooting took place. Local news Click 2 Houston reported. A party had finished at around 1 a.m. but carried over until 2:30 a.m. when the shooting occurred. Multiple shell casings were said to have been found outside the bowling alley and pool hall. Despite social media accounts of the incident, investigators tried to piece together exactly what happened in the lead up to the shooting and who was responsible for Takeoff's untimely death. Initially, Takeoff's identity was not released to give enough time for his identity to be verified and for his family to be informed. Drew Findling, a lawyer for Takeoff and confidant to many rap stars, dubbed Takeoff's death a devastating loss, particularly for Atlanta, per the New York Times. "When you're around Takeoff, there's a sense of peacefulness about his aura," he said. "He listens to you, looks at you, and is more focused on what you have to say than what he has to say. The world was starting to learn about Takeoff. It was his time to shine." The official cause of death was released by the coroner on November 2nd as penetrating gunshot wounds of head and torso into the arm, according to records released to Page 6 by the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences. The manner of death was ruled a homicide, and Takeoff's killer is still at large. The rapper did his final interview just 10 days before his death. In a chat with Revolt's Drink Champs podcast and YouTube series, the Atlanta native spoke of his career and the only built for Infinity Links record. Host Noor praised it as their time to prove it and asked whether Takeoff felt it was the right time to do so. "Oh, for sure. Enough is enough. I'm chillin' laid back, but it's not about that. It's time to give me my flowers. I don't want to lay down when I ain't here," he said. Takeoff and Quavo also addressed a falling out with the third member of Migos, Offset, admitting the duo had always wanted to branch out independently. "Just like me personally, just a bucket list," Takeoff said. "I feel like this my real uncle. Like we do music. We have been doing this. I always have wanted to drop a little collab album, cause why not? Why can't I drop one?" Quavo agreed. "Right now, I believe in the duo. Like you just said, you play the game by loyalty. We stand on loyalty. This is just about us. When things ain't right, you gotta goddamn move on." The three of them had made no plans to reunite. Social media was flooded with an outpouring of grief from the hip-hop and larger community. Ja Rule tweeted, "Rip Takeoff, this S has to stop, sending love to friends and family," while Young Miami tweeted, "Damn Takeoff," alongside 3 broken heart emojis. Fellow rapper Lecrae tweeted, "No hot takes, no profound thoughts. Just sad that another rapper, son, brother, and friend has been killed. God be with all those who feel the loss." And rapper, actor, and activist Killer Mike wrote, "May God bless our dead and may God protect our living. Praying for the Migos family, praying for my people that we may one day end this war with ourselves." Takeoff was born Kirshnik Kari Ball in 1994 in Lawrenceville, Georgia. He began performing with his uncle and fellow rapper Quavo, alongside Offset as Migos in 2008. The trio became famous with the single Versace in 2013, and their success escalated to Bad and Bougie in 2016. The song became a viral sensation, serving as the inspiration for countless memes. The 2016 single gained even more traction when Atlanta star Donald Glover name-dropped the single in his acceptance speech at the 2017 Golden Globes. "I really want to thank the Migos not for being in the show, but for making Bad and Bougie," he said, "like that's the best song ever." Speculation that Migos had split up started circulating in May 2022 when their latest album, Only Built for Infinity Links, didn't feature contributions from Offset. Speculation continued when the trio canceled their appearance at the Governor's Ball Music Festival in June 2022. When Offset and his wife, Cardi B, unfollowed Quavo and Takeoff on social media, it seemed to confirm the trio's split. Quavo told the Big Facts podcast in October, "We want to see our career as a duo. We came from a loyal family that's supposed to work together, and you're supposed to stick together, but sometimes when S don't work out, it's not meant to be. We stand on loyalty, and sometimes that S ain't displayed. Right now, we gonna be the duo till time tell." Takeoff's death came just a few days before a documentary series, Hip Hop Homicides, aired detailing the growing violence within the hip-hop community. Hosted by TV personality and producer Van Lathan, who tweeted, "Just stacking up bodies of young rich black men. I wish people cared," in response to Takeoff's death. Hip Hop Homicides examines the staggering number of murders within the hip-hop community, where more than half of those cases remain unsolved. Rapper-turned-film producer 50 Cent served as the series' executive producer. The show premiered on November 3, 2022 on WETV. After the news of his death, Drake, who collaborated with Migos on the 2018 song Walk It, Talk It, paid tribute to Takeoff in an Instagram post. got the best memories of all of us seeing the world together and bringing light to every city we touch. That's what I'll focus on for now. Rest easy, spaceman. He captioned a photo of him and Takeoff from their Aubrey and the Three Migos tour in 2018. CA also paid tribute to Takeoff in a tweet. This Takeoff is so weird. I'm genuinely creeped out by the world. I cried. God bless that man's spirit, his family, and friends. Such a talented soul. I don't understand, she wrote. Machine Gun Kelly was another rapper who paid tribute to the late Migos member. I had the honor of being on Migos' first mixtape back in like '09. Crazy what they've done since. I was so proud of that album Cho and Takeoff just dropped. The bars and production were so mean, and I'm just glad he got to experience some of his flowers while he was here. R.I. Take, he tweeted at the time. As to whether justice will ever prevail remains to be seen. In the meantime, we all hope that these endless hip-hop homicides will take a break. And that's it from us today. Until next time. Thank you for watching.